Sterling and Wilson Solar, that's the world's largest solar EPC solution provider, is looking to raise as much as 3,125 crore rupees from the primary markets. Now, this would be the second largest IPO of 2019 after Embassy offers it. Now, the IPO is a complete offer for sale where the two promoters will be selling their stake. Now, to give us more details on the offer and on the company, joining us now on the show is the chairman of the company, that is Khurshed Daruvala, and the global CEO, Bikesh Ogra of Sterling, Wilson and Solar. So, sir, to start off with, can you explain the business of and what are the key strengths of the company?
Sterling and Wilson is in the business of solar EPC, which is the utility scale business upside of 5 megawatt. We have our presence in almost 26 countries. We have executed as of 31st March around 6,800 megawatts of projects across 12 different countries, and we are expanding it to further levels.
Now, given the fact that you have presence in nearly 26 countries, how much of your revenue comes from outside India, and which among the foreign or the domestic orders are more lucrative for the company?
As of 31st March, 30% of our revenues came in from India, and 70% of the revenues came in from various geographies, and each of these geographies has a mix of the margins which is different, and we got geographies wherein we earn very high double-digit margins. We have geographies wherein we earn high single-digit margins as well. So as a blend, we do make gross margins of around, last year we did a gross margins of around 12%.
And your order book currently stands at close to 3,800 crore rupees. But how has your order book grown in the past, and from which regions you are expecting more orders to come in going forward?
Unfortunately, I bound by the regulations and I can't give a forward-looking outlook, but as of 31st March, we had an order book of 3,900 crores, which was confirmed orders, and we had an LOIs, the letter of intents, for around 3,800 as well. And these are all coming in from geographies like Latin America, Middle East, Southeast Asia, India, of course, as well, and Africa.
And in the last 4 or 5 financial years, from which regions have you seen more orders coming in for the company?
So the initial expansion took place in areas where Sterling, Wilson and Shapoorji as a group was strong, which was in the Middle East and Africa. And since then we've expanded into Southeast Asia, Latin America. And currently in the current year we've got our first orders coming out now from Australia and the US. Okay. So now we really truly have a global presence, and we do see markets of the US and Australia being very large markets going up in the future. The Middle East and Africa also is expanding very rapidly on the solar business. So overall, we are seeing in our addressable market, we are seeing about a 20% growth going up in the future in the global market in solar.
Okay. And now, operation and maintenance services contribution to your total revenue is very negligible. But then, are you looking to ramp up this segment of your business, or your focus would remain more on EPC projects?
For us, yeah, you're right. The operation and maintenance business as a percentage of revenue is minimalistic, but we are definitely looking to scale this up for a simple reason that we have a very strong track record and relationship now built with some of the top IPPs globally who have built scale over the last 15 to 20 years, and we see that coming in as a strong advantage for us in terms of creating the O&M portfolio, which is not only for our captive EPC projects that we do, but also for the third party. As of 31st March, we have a third party O&M portfolio of around 2 gigawatts on an overall portfolio size of around 5.5 gigawatt. We are definitely looking to raise this and scale this up to a very large level as we move forward.
Well, on the competition, I would like to ask Bikesh Ogra now. In the domestic front, you do not have many competitors, but who are your competitors on the international front, and how is the current competitive scenario in the international front when it comes to solar EPC projects?
So as a global EPC competition, we really don't have anyone who participates with us across geographies. But for sure, we do definitely have regionalized competition, which participates and competes with us in regions. Since we cut across 26 countries and across continents, we don't see as a global EPC peer, as a benchmark for us, we don't see anyone in the global landscape.
So if you just see the global market, you would see that Sterling Wilson has about a 4.6% market share, and the number 2, 3, 4, 5 are all Chinese companies which are literally half our size and mainly concentrated in China itself. So that's why, like Bikesh mentioned, at a global level, there is no peer because most people seem to work in their home countries, and we've succeeded in expanding into 26 countries over the last 3-4 years.
Okay. Now, your short-term borrowings in financial year 2019 bumped up to close to 2,200 crore rupees. Any specific reason for the same, and when do you plan to repay this amount?
So we have specified this in actually the RHP that within a period of 90 days, there is an intercorporate deposit from the solar company to the non-solar company, so which will get paid back within a period of 90 days.
Okay. And lastly, sir, what would be the key growth drivers for your company going forward?
See, like I mentioned that 2-3 things. One is that the global market opportunity is huge. If you see solar prices, the largest project that we finish in the world right now, which was in Abu Dhabi, the client is selling electricity at 1 rupee 75 paise to the Abu Dhabi government for 25 years. So even without subsidies, you're finding that solar globally is very, very competitive. So, and now in Abu Dhabi, the phase 2 project that's coming up is much, much larger than the phase 1 project. So you're seeing a huge amount of traction globally because solar is become the cheapest source of power. With this, there is, like I mentioned earlier, about a 20% growth in the global market for the foreseeable future. And being the only global solar EPC, and most of the large IPPs globally have a footprint across the world. And we believe they would need a partner across the world for them, and we are perfectly poised to take advantage of this huge growth opportunity that's coming for all of us.
Well, that will be all, sir. Thank you for speaking to Bloomberg Quint.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.